knowing Jo, only introduced to Jo, what, about a month ago?
Yeah, that's right.
Through Lisa Marie, and had a couple of meetings with Jo. And I have to say, Jo's been fantastic in supporting B4 in the past month or so. Made an instant connection with Jo. She's really got to grips with our business and understands our challenges at this time, and has been an invaluable source of support. So thank you to you, Jo, and I'm sure she'll be really good value today and help your business if you need her. So over to you.
Thank you, Richard. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure it's been a challenging week for you all, experiencing things that we haven't ever experienced. But that's why I'm here. So my background is in psychology as well as business. And I just wanted to kind of make sure that business owners and leaders are doing okay for themselves and are leading their teams in the best way that they can, getting us all through a very uncertain and unsteady time. So presentation today is going to be on psychological fitness. Please do ask questions as we go along. That's what I'm here for. There'll be questions at the end as well, but any questions, any shares, let's make it as interactive and as useful to everyone as possible. Can everyone hear me okay?
I think we're good, Jo. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So just getting the presentation up for you guys now. Okay, psychological fitness in business. So at the moment, we are all under immense pressure. There's a lot of uncertainty. We don't really know what we're dealing with. We're living day by day. So there's a lot of fear around. When there's a lot of fear around, it makes us paralyzed or feel trapped. Not the most conducive mindset to have when you are trying to get your business out of the doody. So just want to help you guys along. So what we find is that in business, the most successful people tend to be agile. Their psychological agility tends to be amazing. That's the thing that gets people through. So agility is the ability to move quickly and easily through things, the ability to think and understand quickly and easily. And that's what we need to get our heads around here. So for all of you guys, this is a really great slide. I can send it around after the presentation. But what we want to realize is that we are in a bit of despair right now, especially the last 2-3 weeks. But actually, this is not a permanent thing. As awful as it seems right now, it isn't permanent. There is going to be an end at some point. Now, that could be 3 months, that could be 6 months, or that could be 9 months. We don't know. But there is an end in sight. So what's really important is to know that we're in this phase right now, but also to take the opportunities that are coming up to plan, to reshape, to reposition, to get your values and your vision and your missions all together so that we come out thriving on the other side. So just want to introduce you to the curve of change, or the change curve. This is the emotional response and the psychological response that people have when we're going through change. And this is any change. And obviously we're at the end of the spectrum and such a big change that we're going through right now. So it's really important to become familiar with this and also share it with your teams, because everyone's going through this at different paces. And what we want to do as business leaders is get everybody on the same page. We want to get our heads there, our mindset there, and bring our people with us. So the natural and the normal response for most people is that when this thing comes about, there's shock. What are we going to do? How are we going to survive? Where am I going to get my shopping from? When am I going to see my mom? As well as, what am I going to do with my business? People will then go into denial. Oh, it's going to be okay. It isn't going to hit us as bad. And so if we look at the left-hand side of this graph, they're kind of negative, not forward moving mindsets and places to be in. Natural, but not forward moving. And where we as business owners want to move forward is to get ourselves from the left-hand side of this graph to the right-hand side of this graph, to know that this isn't going to be forever. Let's get moving, let's get everyone together, and let's start planning. So right now, I would like to throw a question out to everyone and just say, like, where are you with your business right now, and what's the feel and what's the mindset? Are we still in shock, denial, frustration? Grants haven't come through. we know of furlough, but actually, you know, we're not seeing the payments just now. So are we there, or are we moving more towards the let's get planning, let's get moving, let's make some decisions and shape my business go forward? Anyone wants to put anything in the boxes, please feel free to do so. So what ties in with this is let's think 3 steps ahead. We have to, as leaders, think 3 steps ahead. Right now, it is not a great place to be. In our heads, it's not a great place for our teams to be. Let's move them to the future. And I love to use the analogy, it's very much like playing chess. When you're playing chess, you're not really concentrating so much on that move. You're working out, if I do this move, what is going to happen on the next move and the one after that. And that's where you guys really want to be at. Right now, we're in this kind of shock, fear, denial stage. But hang on a minute, if I do something different now, where am I going to be with my business in three weeks, 3 months' time? Richard, anything coming through where people have questions, or do you want me to carry on?
Yeah, we've got Nigel's in decision-making stage mode. We've got National Office 10 in the experimental stage. Nadine Hunter is in experimental decision-making, so mixture of the two. Stephen Spencer, exploring opportunities and how I will adapt. So yeah, they're coming through nicely.
Great. So really great input, guys. Thanks for that. So it's really good to just start to think about, okay, I'm in experimental stage, but how much fear is still there with me? Okay, I'm in growth stage, but how much denial or shock is still with me? Because as business owners, we really want to stay resourceful. So whilst we can primarily be in one of the phases, which is really good work, and well done for getting yourself so quickly, a couple of questions you want to be asking yourselves is, on a daily basis, how much of the other stuff is still creeping in? Because if you let it creep in, it starts to erode your emotional resilience. So just keep a check on that. And the second thing you want to be asking yourselves is, okay, where are my people? Are my people with me? And if they're not, how do I get them there? And one of the best ways of doing that is to talk them through and walk them through how you're making decisions and how you're getting and where your vision is going. So a really good example of this is that furlough is everywhere at the moment. And you can take furlough in 2 different ways. One is it's the beginning of the end. I'm not needed in this business anymore. And this is the easing of me, me leaving. They're making me redundant. I've been furloughed. What an expression is that? How negative is that? And the other way of looking at it is furlough is my friend. This is allowing me to keep my job, keep my pay, allow my boss to continue to pay me and not be affected with cash flow. And when everything gets back to normal, I can jump back on ship and I can work harder than I have ever worked before. So it'll be really good, again, throw it out to you guys to understand how you're dealing with furlough, challenges that you've got, and how that your employees are taking it too. As those are going to be coming in, let's just move along. One of the strategies, the mind strategies that we encourage in businesses, small, medium and large businesses, is what we call ORBED. Okay, so it's saying, are you acting and thinking above the line, okay, which is constructive, proactive behavior, great culture, transparency and trust, or are you acting and thinking below the line, blame, excuse and denial? And again, every day, every week, I just want you to think about how you're dealing with your business, with your network, with your team, with your clients and customers. Is there full ownership going on? Is there accountability? And are you actively choosing the way that you are going to respond to a situation? Or is there an element of blame going on? Is there an element of excuse avoidance going on? Is there an element of denial going on? If you're below the line, okay, we all do it, but just check in, because it's not going to move your business forward into those next phases where you can warm up, train, sprint, and get through the other side. So 2 good questions for you. I'd get your pens out at this time and get writing down 2 good questions that are going to keep you and your team above the line. Number 1, what do I want? So what do I want for my business? What do I want for my team? What do I want to get out of this? It forces you into a positive, constructive answer. Second question you want to be asking yourself, how am I going to do it? How do I do this? Again, it forces you into constructive, positive, forward-looking answers, solutions. So it's solution-based. So we're going to be tested here because every day we are being challenged. And every day, if you can just remind yourself above or below the line. By the way, this works really well at home too. So we're just going to go on to, okay, so what feeds into our performance? What makes a high performer versus a not so high performer? And what it really is, it's constructed of three things. What we think, married with what we feel, together with how we act. So just want to run you through a really good example here. Okay, if we're coming from a scarcity mindset versus an abundant mindset. So scarcity, what are you thinking? Oh, I'm a victim, this isn't fair, everything was going good beforehand. Abundant mindset, okay, I'm in the driver's seat. I can't control what's going on around me, but I can control what's in my business. What's your emotional energy like? Is it draining the room? Is it frustration? Is it impatience? Is it negative? Is it blame? Okay, so what can we do with that? Can we change that into an abundant energy? Feeling empowered, uplifting, taking people forward, taking them out of the current state. And also your mental energy, with lots of emotional stuff going on, people are going to be confused, not have clarity, and work in a very scattered way. If you're coming from an abundant mindset, it's more about, okay, we can do this, let's work as a team, and let's push this forward. The thing to really close on here, and it is a big topic and happy to take questions offline and after the session, is you guys have got to make sure that you keep yourself above water. So you need to keep your heads above water. What are you doing to keep yourself grounded, sane, and how are you emotionally recharging every day? Because there's a huge responsibility that comes with being a business owner. And in times like this, it can actually be overwhelming for us. So I really want you guys to start to write down and work out every day, what is it that I'm doing? It could be affirmations. It could be mindfulness, clearing your mind for 5 minutes. It could be putting on some really good music that's uplifting just to kind of escape from everything. It could be watching a really old movie. It could be breathing exercises and yoga. It could be writing down all the positive things, even if they're small, that's happened this week. But it's something, you've got to keep yourself anchored. It could be someone supporting you, coaching you. You've got to keep yourself anchored for you, for your business, and for your team. So please, please don't self-neglect. Don't take too much on. Share, use your team as resources around you, and do everything you can as a team to get you and your people through. Richard, do you want to throw some questions my way or open it up to everyone?
Yeah, well, just to go back on a few of the points that you made, Jo, about the furloughing and people's sort of state of mind and what they're thinking. Manisha made the point that people are thinking they will be made redundant if they're furloughed. So very much on the sort of the less positive way of looking at things. So it's not a criticism, Manisha, but obviously that's one of the options that you said, how people can embrace it. So by you providing that alternative, hopefully that's a help, Manisha. And then Nigel liked the chart. He thought it was very, very useful. Joe's made a comment that you're already helping him with his mindset, which is great. So any more comments anybody's got or questions for Joe, please do put them through. But yeah, I found this really useful, Joe. I'm sure everybody else has.
Right. With the furloughing, I mean, it is a very, very sensitive point. And it really does go back to culture. So I would definitely, in your planning phase, what you guys want to be doing now is that you want to get your numbers. You want to know where you are with your numbers, because in this whole state of turmoil, you need to work on logic and not emotion. And the only way that you can work on logic in business is looking at numbers. Numbers drives logic. So you need to make your decisions, practical decisions, based on your numbers, based on logic. And once you've done that, you start to steady your ship. So if you haven't already, you need to be doing your cash flow forecast. Not in here, it needs to be written down and reviewed every day. You need to be renegotiating with your suppliers, with your clients. You need to know where you're at. You need to take whatever holidays you can take in terms of finances as you can to steady your ship. You need to work out furlough. You need to speak to your people and be really transparent, talk them through it, tell them what your intention is. You know, it may be, and for lots of people, this is not a redundancy. This is job retention. My intention is to keep you. You are a great employee. And actually, on the other side, I'm putting you in this position. This is where I would like to see you. So as much reassurance as you can get. But get your business plan written up. Get the team involved if it's not already. Lots of people are going to have to reposition and reshape their businesses right now. And small to medium businesses actually have an advantage over the bigger businesses because we can pivot a lot more easily and quickly than the much larger organizations. So think of yourself as a speedboat rather than an oil tanker. You can change direction in a much easier way.
Thanks for that, Jo. Yeah, we've had a few more comments. Nigel was asking about what words you use when talking about furlough, putting it across positively, which I think you've pretty well covered there in that previous section. Rob Phillips, very useful and inspirational presentation. Thank you very much. Emily, thank you. You've made me feel a lot more positive and inspired, which is great. We've got... Alan's telling us he's got to go.
Bye.
Bye, Alan. that's the National Office 10. I thought it was Trevor McDonald actually there, Alan, but thanks for dropping in. But no, I think it's been really positive for everybody. Anybody does have any other questions that they want to put through to, here we go, another one. Amanda, constant communication to your staff who are furloughed. Can you suggest the best way to communicate with staff who are at home without overstepping the mark?
Yeah, I mean, positioning is key in this one, isn't it? So again, going back to that point of really letting them know that your intention isn't, and if it isn't that this is because you don't value them. And also the wording from the government, you know, non-essential people, it's a very negative connotation. So you really want to be working against that. The best way to communicate is to care personally. Show that you care personally. So it doesn't really matter how, but I would say as informal as possible, but showing that you care. So WhatsApps, telephone messages. I had a really nice story from someone yesterday, someone that I coach, that she just sent a box of kind of those jelly beans to people and some sweets that have been furloughed, just to say, you know, like, hope this brightens your day a bit. So just to show people that you actually care. Obviously sending a letter and it landing on their desk saying they've been furloughed isn't going to be a great way to do it. But just show that you absolutely care about them as a person. This is all about human to human contact at the moment. That's everyone's priority. And the people that show that they actually care are going to be winners on the other side of it.
Thanks, Jo. Just a couple of points on the furlough. From speaking to various people that I know, it seems that some businesses are basically delivering the furlough as not an option. Basically, it's just a fait accompli, and it's to take it or leave it. Others are being more instructive in what the implications are. But obviously, it isn't really a fait accompli, is it? It has to be discussed and accepted by the employees. That's what my understanding is, anyway.
Yeah, it has to absolutely be agreed with by the employee. It does.
Yeah.
And you would like to think that people were having the discussions up front and not just kind of delivering a letter like a redundancy letter.
Yeah, and I think that is happening. So if you are on sort of that end of being furloughed, then you might want to just sort of contest it in the best possible way, of course, but don't accept it without at least finding out what the full options are. And just a point about, you know, keeping the team spirits up and sending something in the post. Great idea. Just something that came through from one of our team this morning in our meeting. Apparently, the French Postal Service has stopped now. So if that's going to happen over here, if you're going to do it sooner rather than later. If we're going to have similar sort of problems with the post here, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but just might be an idea if you've got it in mind to get it done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, just staying in touch. You know, communication right now is absolutely key. And you can't over communicate right now. You obviously don't want to be doing too much of a sales technique when you're communicating, but just letting people know where you're at, how you're operating, checking in, it really is going to count go forward.
Brilliant. Steve, Spencer, thanks. That's a great actionable briefing. So really good positive feedback this morning. Jo, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I think we'll obviously we'll circulate, if you're happy for us to do, circulate your PowerPoint, and that will go out with the video of this presentation later anyway. So if anybody wants to recap or look at Jo's slides, then you can do so, and we'll provide your contact details in there as well, Jo, if you're happy for us to do so.
No, absolutely. It's a massive topic. So if anyone's got any questions or needs some help afterwards, absolutely get in touch.
Brilliant. And so I can't overestimate the use that Jo's been to our business. So really well worth getting in contact and opening up a conversation with Jo, because I'm sure she'll be of massive benefit to your business. And I'm not on commission, by the way. Sorry, it sounds like I'm overdoing it now, doesn't it? Right. So just onto a few slides from us. Just a couple of closing things. Just for those of you that have seen this before, apologies, but just for those that are new, we've got some useful support documents on the B4 website. So we've got the community support pages. So if you go onto the website, Rob clicks on the red box, opens up into a load of individual press releases and updates from all of our members, and that you can go into in more detail. We go back onto there's a COVID update that we're doing every day. So if you don't want to look at the news, and one of those things that you can get can affect your spirits if you get too embroiled in it, just check up on the latest details on our COVID update there. Next slide is the B4 Live pages. So we've got the upcoming talks that we've got starting next week. Tonight we've got speed networking. All of our slots are pretty well full on that. But if you would like to join just as a wire and watch us all mess it up, it's a first run. So I'm sure it won't go smoothly, but it's a great opportunity for B4 members to get across what they're doing, what their challenges are, and maybe a little bit of a nice offer for you to take advantage of at this particular time. All the talks coming up, we pretty well filled all the days for the next couple of weeks. Obviously not anything next Friday or the following Monday, for Good Friday and Easter Monday, but they're all there. And if you would like to book a slot, please get in contact. And then if you've missed anything, you can have a look at the videos that Rob's getting up literally within hours of the current talk. So you can click on and have a look at the videos to your heart's content. So one more thing, we've got a B4 membership, a 90-day free trial. If you're not a B4 member, you want to take advantage of the digital benefits that we've got. And all this content is free and open at the moment, but it will get to a point when this content will be just available for B4 members. But why not take advantage of the no obligation trial? Go to the top of the B4 website pages, and there's the green box. Click on that, fill out your details as either an individual or as a company. Enjoy B4 for 90 days. And if you want to stay on, great. If you don't, then you can just cancel the membership. So speed networking tonight, register through the website. Should be a bit of fun to end the week. I'm sure all of you have had a busy and challenging and draining week in many different ways, good or bad. And so hopefully a light-hearted note to finish off the week. And Monday, we've got Phil Saville from CIS Limited looking at your business being able to cope with 2 virus attacks, COVID and cyber. So the dreaded double C. But that's all from us. Thank you, Jo. Really appreciate your time this morning. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week. Have a great weekend. Jo, final word from you.
Well done, everyone. Literally, pat yourselves on the back. You're doing amazing, and keep it up.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thanks, Jo. Take care.